Yo, what's up, everyone? Back for the Saturday slate. We're gonna look at the early slate today. It is starting at 4 o'clock. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game early slate. We also have a main slate. Only a couple days before the All Star break today and tomorrow. So let's make the most of it. You can drop a like and subscribe down below. Main slate's going on right now for Friday. Looking decent. We still got a bunch of players in the late games. We got 3 players in the late game, so looking like a good chance to cash in at least double ups on Draftkings. So let's keep it going today. So like I said, let's try to get over 100 likes on the video. Today at pitcher, I'm going to go with Max Scherzer here. He's obviously the best pitcher on the board. He's been pitching like it. In the month of June, he had an ERA of, I think it was exactly 1.0. Had massive strikeouts, 10 plus strikeouts in 4 straight games, 10 plus strikeouts in 5 of 6. He just been so consistent. As you can see, he's won 6 straight starts. He's been lights out facing this Royals team. They have a bunch of young players in there, a bunch of guys that do strike out, and they also are going into the National League, so they're going to get a face. So Scherzer's going to get a face a pitcher. So it's just a really good spot for Scherzer to have another gem. At 12-2, we do have some value plays that I like that can make it easy to fit him in. So I like him a lot as my SP1. Other guys you can consider, I think Bieber against the Reds is fine here. He's like a GPP play. Wouldn't play him in cash with Scherzer being the best play in cash, but for GPPs, Bieber has shown to have a similar upside to Scherzer. A couple times he put up a 40 spot, a 50 spot, 56, and I put up a 38. So he definitely has that upside. Blake Snell, he finally had a good game last game. Not sure if he's going to be able to continue it here against the Yankees. Last time he faced the Yankees, he got shelled, but he's looked good in his last start, and maybe he can stay hot. But that's definitely not a play you want to play in cash, just like a GPP play. No interest in Sabathia in cash or GPPs. No interest in Smith. I don't have interest that much in Descalfini. I do like Max Fried here. He's only 6,500 as an SP2 facing the Marlins. Yesterday, the pitchers worked out great, especially Tehran going up against this Marlins team. They're just not very good, and Fried is extremely cheap here. At only 6,500, we're getting one of his lower price tag. It's after he was over 8,000 for a bunch of time. Down to only 6,500 facing all these Marlins. I think it's a decent spot. The Marlins are pretty righty heavy, so that's a little concerning here. Just look at the numbers for Fried to see if there's any huge splits that he's had. But either way, I think the Marlins always have one of the lower totals on the slate. They do strike out a decent amount. Fried isn't like a lights out strikeout pitcher, but he can. He's still one of their better prospects, can get the job done, and he has been pretty good this season. Righties have hit him a little better, which is a little concerning here. But the xFIP and everything is similar. He still has over a 20% strikeout rate against righties. And he's still a very heavy ground ball pitcher, so I think he's going to have a good game here at only 6,500. First base here, I really like Jake Bauers. I want to attack Descalfini with some lefties, and Bauers is extremely cheap. He's also been very hot over the last 7 games. He's been crushing the ball for a lot of power. If you look at the numbers, he's finally starting to come together. Descalfini has been getting destroyed against lefties, and I think the Indians make for a tremendous stack on this slate because if you look up and down their lineup, they have a bunch of switch hitters and a bunch of lefties. So Descalfini is not going to get to face many righties, and that should make life difficult for him. Against lefties this season, he's given up a 315 average and a 588 slugging percentage. 10 home runs he's given up against lefties. The xFIP is at 5.53, just a strikeout rate is about 6 points lower. He gives up a massive amount of fly balls, 49% fly ball rate and a 50% hard hit rate, only an 8.7% soft contact rate for Descalfini against lefties. And we know Great American Ballpark plays up lefty powers so much. Bauers is finally starting to hit the ball well. We know he has a lot of power. And if you look at the numbers for him, he's been much better against righties, where he's batting a respectable 251, has 5 home runs. He has a 140 ISO, about a 391 slugging, but recently he's been hitting the ball well. So far in the month of July, he's been batting 500, but it's only 12 at-bats. But in June as well, he was swinging the bat a little better too. He's also much better on the road here, 294 average on the road to go with 6 home runs. Just a really good spot for a guy that has dual positional eligibility in a tremendous spot. Another Indian that I like that's also at a very nice price tag is Jason Kipnis here. Only 3,600 for Kipnis. He was really hot for a bit, and then he's like 0 for his last 11. But he's still been decent this year against right-handed pitching. The matchup is great here against Descalfini on the road in a great ballpark for lefties. Kipnis this season, he's been decent against righties. Well, a little better than decent. 269 average is pretty good. 5 home runs. He has a 429 slugging and a little bit of pop with a 160 ISO. He has about a 36% hard hit rate, fly ball rate's over 40%. Some decent numbers for him, and he should turn out to be a little better hitter going forward. He hit the ball well in June, hit 273 in June with 4 home runs. So July so far has done nothing for him, but I think this is a good spot where he can get his first hit, maybe a couple hits. Career-wise, he is just a decent hitter, and he's at a nice price tag here at 3,600. At third base, I like a cheap guy on the Rays, and that's Brousseau here at only 3,000. He's been getting some playing time. He's going to get a lot of playing time with G-Man Choi hurt, and he's been making the most of it. He has a lot of power in AAA. He had a 590 slugging and a 317 average. At only $3,000, he makes for a great play. Facing CC Sabathia, who does struggle. His struggles comes against righties, and a guy like Brousseau, who has a lot of power, I think if he has a cheap home run here at this price tag, you're obviously getting a tremendous return on a $3,000 hitter, which is something you don't see very often. This season, Sabathia is getting hit hard against righties. 286 average, 552 slugging percentage given up. He has a 5.1 xFIP, just a 21% K rate, and he's given up a 41% hard hit rate. And Sabathia has also been much worse on the road. So even though it's not a great hitting ballpark, I think the Rays can get to Sabathia here, and they have seen him a bunch of times, so they do know how he tends to pitch. I like Brousseau a lot here at only $3,000. And in the outfield, I do like a Nationals stack quite a bit, especially some of the power hitters. Facing Sparkman, who's not very good, and then their bullpen is one of the worst in the league, the Kansas City bullpen. I like here Juan Soto. He has a little bit of speed. He's expensive, but I think he can have a really good game here. It's a great ballpark to hit in, at home in Nationals Park. This season, he's been really good against righties. With a 288 average, 10 of his 15 home runs come against righties. He has a really solid 232 ISO. He has a 41% hard hit rate, just a 9.5% soft contact rate. Hits a decent amount of fly balls as well. And at home, he's been really, really good with a 331 average and 8 home runs. So I just feel like it's a good spot for him. He's hitting the ball really well right now. And Sparkman is not great, and we know the bullpen for the Royals is also one of the worst in the league. This season, Sparkman this season has been bad against lefties with a 598 slugging 598 slugging. 10 of his 13 home runs have come against lefties. Look at the numbers for him on the road. Just mind-boggling there. Over a 10 ERA on the road. xFIP to lefties is 6.18, just a 14% K rate. He's given up a 49% hard hit rate to lefties, 46% fly ball rate. The lefties of the Nationals are going to be my favorite stack here. Obviously, you can go with the full stack if you want to throw in some righties, especially a guy like Rendon. So good, Rendon, Turner. But I do like some lefties, and Soto's going to be my favorite one-off play from the Nationals. So those are 6 players that I like. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like on it. And you can visit the website, links in the description. If you want to join us for this slate, we have 2 slates today. We also have like 3 slates for FanDuel. Might just play 2 of them, I don't know, announce on Twitter. But looking at some other teams to target here, we have both teams in this game have, I think, a 5+ total. Both teams are stackable. On the Pirates, I have more interest in the lefties and switch hitters like Reynolds, Dickerson, Colin Moran, and Josh Bell are my favorite plays. And Frazier if he bats near the top of the order. Just because if you look at the numbers for Hauser, his advanced numbers and everything for his career is much worse against lefties. And here on the Brewers, I like some lefties here against Trevor Williams. Not going to go crazy with the Brewers just because they get a huge ballpark downgrade, and Trevor Williams is a decent pitcher. Like, he rarely gets blown up. But I still think, obviously Yelich is a great play. But besides Yelich, I'm not going to be getting to too many of them just because they're priced up. Like Thames is at 4,900, Moustakas is 47, and Braun is hurt. So I'm not getting a great value on them. I think there's other teams to target, like the Nationals here. I expect Adams to be in the lineup. I like him at first base if you want to move Bowers to the outfield. Rendon, Turner are still great plays. I like Soto and Eaton to round out a nice little stack. On the Royals, just pass on the Royals against Scherzer. Just do yourself a favor. On the Rays here, I like a lot of the righties. Brusso, Pham. Uh, Obviously, El Garcia's cheap. Pham's pretty cheap. Yandy Diaz, batting leadoff probably at 43 makes sense. And Brusso is very cheap at 3,000. And they also have a really nice catcher. Very cheap catchers in Zanino at 2,500 and Travis d'Arnaud at 3,200. So I think the Rays make for a nice stack. And the Indians are also going to be one of my favorite stacks. All the lefties, like I mentioned. So Bowers, Kipnis, switch hitters, and Ramirez, Lindor. Just so many lefties. Tyler Naquin as well. I love the Indians. Probably my favorite team. Well, the Red Sox are going to be my favorite, but the Indians are going to be close. In ownership, I think the Indians are better just because they're going to be less popular. The full Red Sox stacks in play against Jordan Zimmerman. Like all the hitters, top 5, top 6, I think you can stack. My favorites are going to be Mookie Betts, Devers, and JD. Bogarts is fine, but at 5,000, you can find some other value. And Chavis, and Michael Chavis, I think, at 46. That's a little pricey for me. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to be playing any Braves here against Caleb Smith just because I think he's a really good pitcher. So those are the picks I like, along with some stacks that I like. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And good luck today.